Not letting me read. Good evening. We are back. We are at the Providence Decameron, put on by the Wilbury Theater and the Waterfire Arts Center. And I'm going to introduce you to the two gentlemen that are in charge of this, and they're going to tell you what's going on here.
Hey, Gallery Night Providence. This is Josh Short from the Wilbury Theater Group, and this is
Barnaby Evans from Waterfire, and behind us is one of the stages we're going to talk about at Decameron Providence.
This is the Rhode Island Black Storytellers back here. They're just one of the dozen or so artists participating in this huge event that we've had going on for the last 2 weeks.
And with that bell, that's the bells from Florence, we're going to start walking over here, but we've got 10 stages, and there are 2 more nights. We encourage people to come on down and see it. But those are the bells from Florence, which is a reference to the original Decameron. And so this story is just about to start, and we're going to walk over to one of the 10 stages to see a little bit on camera.
So, Barnaby, I know our Gallery Night watchers are all very well read and informed, but maybe you want to tell them a little bit about what the original Decameron was?
It's a book by Giovanni Boccaccio, written in 1352, that goes back to the huge bubonic plague that ravaged all of Europe. The height of it was 1348, and it's about a group of women who get together to decide to follow the best practice for social distancing and all that sort of stuff, and it's the same rules we use right now. And so using that story, they went out in the countryside and isolated in a small group, and they told stories to keep themselves engaged. And what you'll see over here is we are forming the audience into these brigades. They're called brigatas. And there are 10 to 15 people, and that way the audience never interacts with 90% of the other audience. So we're trying to come up with a way to do theater in the age of COVID-19 that's safe, fun, exciting, and bringing new voices from all over Providence to an audience who otherwise wouldn't have a chance to hear them.
Mm-hmm. And this is one of those brigadas right here that Barnaby's talking about. So you see there's about 10 people all carrying their own chairs, you know, all with their mask on, socially distanced.
Outside,
all outdoors, the whole thing. And you'll see we're coming up on one of the most photogenic of these stages that we have here.
Pause here just so we don't interrupt the performance, but in a few minutes this performance is about to start. Actually, it should be starting right now. But this is all part of the Alco manufacturing project that used to make locomotives, and this is one of the loading docks. And the event goes, there are 2 more nights, so you do need to buy your tickets in advance at the Wilbury Theater Group website, which you'll post, I'm sure. And you have to buy them before you get here. That's all part of the health department requirements, because we want to make an absolutely safe event for contact tracing and all that sort of thing. And this is the Associated Latino Artists of New England, and they actually have a different performance every single night. And trying to see who's there. Yes, no,
that's Marcel Moscaro. Actually, is a local Providence actor, and he's doing the performance on the stage tonight. This is a bilingual stage. Actually, it's our only bilingual stage. So they do some stuff in Spanish and some stuff in English. So
but it works for everybody. I mean, it's intended to bring the whole group of Providence together.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's slowly walk on. The idea here is all across the country, theater has stopped. And the question was, there's a lot going on in the country right now, and this was an opportunity for artists to comment on that and talk about that and create an evening of theater and discussion and conversation.
Show is about to start.
On this day, in the year of the goddess 2020, le damos la bienvenida a Decano, escenario del Este 2, trayectoria. We welcome you to the camera, stage 2, East Journey. Aunque nuestro mundo esté un tumulto con más de una.
So each of the stages.
Sir, please put your mask on.
Yeah, exactly. Each of the stages are totally different and have quite different characters. Some of them are on the river, Some of them are in, what you can see, there's a whole group down there. There's 2 groups down here. There's a group that's taking place. You can see the scene of that theater and see how beautiful it is. It goes from sunset till the last performance is at 9 o'clock. And there's an East Festival and a West Festival. See, here come the geese flying overhead. So it's a really dynamic, it's a really dynamic and beautiful place. And most people don't even realize they're in the middle of Providence.
Let's see if we can catch this one.
Yep.
Starts on a canoe, actually.
We'll have to be a little quieter as we get closer because we don't want to interfere with the performance. This is Shafney Piaget's performance, which is theater, song, dance, installation. It's a very complicated piece with media and video, and she's actually coming down the Woonasquatucket River right now in a canoe, reciting a poem.
There she is right there.
Shafney goes on to a video and then a performance piece and then a dance piece. And she started way upstream on the Woonasquatucket River and comes all the way down into the stage. It's reciting poetry. It's actually quite powerful. And all these pieces also change as it becomes dark and you see all this lit up in very dramatic ways. So we're going to go look at the East Stage Festival, Stage 9, or stage, it's the 4th stage of this festival. Actually, why don't we take a look in here and see this performance a little bit.
And from his eminent record, he created a companion for these people, and he called that companion capitalism, who begat racism, who begat exploitation, who begat male chauvinism, who begat machismo, who begat imperialism, who begat colonialism, who begat Wall Street, who begat foreign wars, and God knew, and God saw, and God felt this was extra good. God said, Vaya, on the 5th day, the people manifested itself into a petition, a letter to the editor to know why, que pasa, baby? And God said, my fellow son.
So we have 2 more nights of this thing, right? There's tickets still available. You could come and see East tomorrow night, and you could catch West on Saturday night. It's all on the wilburygroup.org/Decameron. So
Explain a little bit what people can expect when they buy a ticket and then they come here. What was the...
yeah, sure. So when you buy a ticket, you're going to get a list of instructions. It's going to remind you that you have to be on time for your performance. It's going
You have to get here at 6 o'clock.
You got to be here at 6. You get on time, meaning early in that sense. You're going to have to take a medical screening questionnaire. So it's just like 4 or 5 questions. The questions that you've probably answered in person if you've gone anywhere out in public since COVID has happened. Have you had a fever? Have you been around anybody who's been diagnosed with COVID? That sort of thing. And you'll pull into your designated parking area, and somebody's going to ask you if you've taken that questionnaire, and they're going to ask you to maybe show proof on your phone that you've taken it and passed it. And then they're going to direct you over to your area where you'll meet your brigada leader and the other people in your brigada for the night.
And they lead you through the whole event all night long.
So that'll be your pod for the night, and you'll go from one stage to the next. And there's
also an intermission.
That's
with
right.
Food
That's right.
From Troop, food and drinks, and that so you see 5 shows, and then you get 1.5 hour break where you can get some food and drink and discuss what you've seen. So it's a lot of fun. And this is one of the first live theater pieces, certainly in Rhode Island, but all across the country.
Yeah.
New York Times did a story about this, that theater has been shut down more or less all across the country. And how does one have the opportunity to have artists add their voices of where we are in the world today? And that's a very important discussion. And as nonprofit arts groups, that's what we do.
Yep, absolutely. So thanks for the support, Gallery Night.
Very good. Those are the most iridescent blue jeans I've ever seen in my life.
All right, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to check out the replays on YouTube tomorrow. See you next month.